screen time. My toddler is addicted to screens. He can bring the roof down if we say no. What do we do? Even if not addicted, you're watching me talk about this to know how much is too much and how to draw the line, right? So let's dive in. Here's what you can expect in this lesson. Let's start with why. Why did your toddler get addicted to screens? Because we let them become addicted. That's the harsh truth. Sadly, a lot of parents believe that screens offer educational material. My child needs to learn rhymes, he learns some new words from it, learn to speak. I'm not able to give time, so at least he learns something from the device. Flat out, that's a wrong notion. I'll explain more in a few minutes. Secondly, screens are good babysitters. I understand, my dear friend. When you just want to sit and sip a cup of tea with peace, sometimes handing over the iPad to your toddler might seem like the only way to achieve that peaceful me time, especially if you have no or little help at home. I totally get that, and it's fine. You're human. It just becomes a matter of concern when screen time extends to several hours in a day. And even worse, if your toddler's screen time starts replacing human face time. We humans have evolved and our brains have developed over millions of years by interacting with nature and other human beings. Our devices and screens are only a few years old. And if a child is spending excessive amounts of time in front of screens instead of interacting with nature and other human beings, the child's brain is not getting what it needs to develop the right way. Between 0 to 3 years, there's rapid and immense brain development happening, and different parts of the brain need to be exercised in order to develop. A child needs to listen to other humans, especially her caregiver speaking. She must learn to use the words or sounds she hears so that the parts of her brain responsible for language develop. On the other hand, if the child is passively, not passively sitting in front of a screen, her brain is not working and therefore it is not growing right. There's more and more research that proving every day how excessive screen time can cause speech delays and affect cognitive development in children. Not to forget the effect screen time has on their eyes and their bodily posture. I'm so proud that you're watching this video to know how you can have moderate and reasonable screen time in your family for yourself and your kids, and I'll show you exactly how to achieve that. Let's ask Ben before we set our discipline goals. When your toddler resists ending screen time, the emotions could be that he's too excited and playful just to continue watching his favorite stuff, or he might be angry and frustrated that you're not letting him watch more. The hidden need beneath this behavior is they could be testing the power they have in that situation. They need predictability about the rules and responses they can expect from you. They need play to make up for their playtime with the screens. So, what do I want to teach and achieve now and later? I want to adhere to the safe guidelines laid down by bodies like the AAP, American Association of Pediatrics, which says zero screen time for kids under 2 years and not more than an hour of screen time for kids 3 to 5 years old. I want to use screen time for my child in an age appropriate way that aids interactive learning. I don't want screen time to replace my child's time with me or other caregivers or replace her physical indoor and outdoor play. So, how can I best achieve these discipline goals? First, let's get the basics right. Establish clear and consistent rules. You make the big decisions about the content that your child can watch. This is important because little kids are impressionable. They will definitely want to copy what they watch. Personally, I'm not a fan of Blippi, Peppa Pig, Shin Chan. They don't go well with my personal values, and I wouldn't want my child to act like them. So, my toddler has never watched these programs. Besides choosing the right video content, also choose interactive content whenever possible. Khan Academy Kids app is our favorite for interactive learning and it's free too. Have clear and consistent routines. You decide when they can watch after lunch or snacks. Here you're free to decide the time based on when you want some free time to get things done. Smart, right? You decide how they watch it on the phone or the iPad or the TV. You decide where they'll watch it, at the table or the sofa, so you can ensure they are in the right posture with the device kept at a safe distance from them and their eyes. And you decide for how long they'll watch it. Say 20 minutes after lunch, 20 minutes after snacks. It's always best to break up screen time over short periods during the day rather than 1 hour long stretch in one go. What are some small choices that you can give your toddler? Do you want to watch Cocomelon now or Frozen? Here's what I've established with my daughter, and it's been like this since the way she was 2 years old. She can watch one Cocomelon song or any song of her choice after every meal. It's not like a reward, but just a timestamp so she knows when to expect it, so that there's no demands at odd hours. Even if there is, I remind her that she can watch after her meal. After one song, she turns off the phone herself. We showed her the first few times and then she got a hang of it. This involves her in the process and gives her a positive dose of power. Besides this, she has 20 minutes of Khan Academy during the day after breakfast, which she has recently given up herself, and 30 minutes of movie time in the evening, for which we use timers. We rarely ever have any struggles with screen time because we've set the rules, she has enough power within the rules, and we've been super consistent. One of the most common struggle with screen time is how to end it in the moment without tantrums. For ending screen time in the moment, here's where calm prep and calm responses come in handy. Think about how can you help your toddler stick with the limit. Set a timer and give a heads up in advance. Baby, you can watch Cocomelon for 20 minutes. I'm keeping a timer. When it rings, we need to turn off the iPad. Maybe in 1 minute the alarm will ring. Do you want to switch off the iPad or do you want me to? This gives your toddler a positive dose of power and helps them end screen time themselves. A now and then can help too. Like now we'll turn off the iPad, then we'll play with your favorite blocks. You can also revisit the section Pausing in Real Life in Module 2, Managing Tantrums, where I explain in detail how you can end screen time without inviting a tantrum using a pause. Now, will your child always say, "Okay, mama, I'll turn it off"? No, not always. On some days, there will be meltdowns and tantrums. On those days, you will need to move in, help them stick with the limit. You will pause and respond with calm. Uphold the limit consistently. You'll find your calm first, then connect with your body, acknowledge their feelings, and then when they are calmer, you engage them. Involve them in problem solving and meet their need. It could sound like, I see you want to keep watching Cocomelon. It's really hard to stop watching. You really enjoy it so much. We need to turn off the iPad now and have lunch. We can sing this song as you wash your hands. Yay, come. Note that though I'm saying all this in sequence, after you acknowledge your child's emotion, you will need to give them the time to calm down before you uphold the limit. Sometimes you might just need to turn off the iPad, gently carry them to wash their hands even as they are crying. You are helping them stick with the limit while also being present for them emotionally. That's how you play the role of a calm, confident coach. Infuse playfulness if you feel they are needing play. Offer choices if you feel they are testing the limit and needing power. If you're cutting down on screen time, provide options to keep your toddler engaged even without the screens. Invite them to help you with the chores at home. Toddlers love to help and do what you do. Set up activities. Allow a bit of boredom, and you can also set up your home in a way that the toys invite your kids to play by keeping only a few toys outside, rotating them every week or so. Seek support from other family members and empower them to engage your kids without screens. I understand different families will have different dynamics and maybe you have little or no help at all. But remember, end of day, your child's health and development is your responsibility. So don't back down and make sure you do all you can to ensure screen time for your child is always under control. Whenever possible, watch what your child is watching. Sometimes a lot of their behavior might be influenced by what they watch. So you will know the root cause if you see some sudden undesirable behaviors. Also, do not allow your kids to just keep clicking on random links or suggestions that come up. YouTube and other apps even if they say are built for kids, are not completely safe. Your child might end up watching the wrong kind of videos that might include porn or aggression just because they kept clicking through random links. And remember, ultimately, all apps are here for business. Be careful about the marketing your child is being exposed to in these videos that they watch. It can cause your child to demand unwanted things just because they saw their favorite YouTube kid Ryan has it. So please be mindful about what your child is watching to avoid unwanted problems in the future. Most importantly, model what's right with screen time. Are you glued to your phone? Most of us are, sadly. Is the TV always on at home? Some of these habits that we've created over time we might not even realize. But our kids are always watching and making sense of everything. If our kids see the phone in our hands all the time, naturally they're going to want to do what we do. So let's be mindful and keep a tab on our own screen time too. Now I understand I've given you a whole bunch of strict rules to adhere to for screen time. And that's because I've seen many parents realize the effect of screen time once it's too late, when their kiddo had to wear spectacles or when they experienced speech delay with their kids. So you can prevent a bunch of problems in the future if you can take extra effort in setting up rules for your child and sticking with those limits even when it's hard. Right now, if you're feeling guilty because you realize that you've unknowingly or knowingly allowed too much screen time, that's good because it shows that you care. Don't let that guilt pull you down and tell you you're a bad parent. No, you are not a bad parent. You did what felt right at that moment. Now you know better, so you can do better. Let the guilt motivate you to take steps in the right direction and make things right with your child's screen time. If you're wondering how to get started, please revisit the sections Clear and Consistent Rules and How to Get Started in the Preventing Tantrums module. It will be tough for you and your child in the beginning, but you know what you're doing is right for your child. So stick with it. I know you've got this, so go for it.